I'm gonna start with Nasdaq. So today when the market opened, which was here, I noticed well that the market was pretty much doing nothing, and then it was very lower, then it failed very higher, and I noticed here when this bar broke to the upside and remained around there, I was like, okay, maybe it is to stay on the upside of the market, but let's see. Thing is, I didn't do anything with this down bar here, but then what happens was this bar when it closes around here, closes around above pretty much this range here, the prior range. So I actually noticed this bar when it's open, I noticed straight a little lower and then it came higher. I actually bought the market around here, and the market just actually quickly pushed what I was initially aiming for. It was, let me actually zoom in here. It was initially these highs of the regular trading hours here, but then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take my exit here at this level. So that's exactly what I did. Market tagged me out, and I was pretty much done there. I was quite early on the session, so I didn't well basically stop there. So I just kept going. Didn't do pretty much anything else in Nasdaq here, but here actually at this point market trade lower when I actually here first thing I did was this market here when my market closed below here, I actually shorted this retest here around here. The market trade lower decently, yeah, some profit, and I actually had a break even stop there. Actually, in the same bar, what happened was I, instead of just remaining out of the market, I actually chased the market here. So I sold a little lower because I thought that it might continue to tank, but it didn't. So then I just got stopped out at some risk at this bar here. And since then, I'm just letting the Nasdaq be because well, it's also FOMC night, so it might just don't do anything else for the rest of the inning. But let's see. I mean, I don't know. I should have just basically kind of call it there or something. But yeah, gonna say some other stuff later at the end because I'm feeling a little weird about all this. So let's see. And also, well, in gold, actually, um, I don't know. I noticed that it was actually gapped. I don't know how much actually. Yeah, it gap up well 1.66%, which is not bad for gold, but yeah. Anyway, it didn't seem like weak at all. So yeah, one thing I did here, I didn't pretty much buy anything here, but then I actually bought this inside bar here, the break of the high, and it was a decent trade, but it wouldn't follow up for long. So it was some decent profits there, and then I just got to stop that here. I mean, in break even trade. Then what else? Actually, I think also here I bought this break of the inside bar on these two inside bars there, the next follow ones, and it wouldn't do anything. It just literally is been hanging around for well for hours basically. But yeah, I got to stop out there. And then one trade I actually did here take was this one. When it retested this level here, I know this is up close here, this one. So what I did was this next bar, it came lower, 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 and then it would reject here again. So when it broke the high around here, I actually exited the trade. Sorry, executed a trade, executed a buy here. And I was aiming for this 53.3 level. But then yeah, I got it. I actually exited my trade around here. I locked in some profit in this bar actually when it was trading higher around this level. And then at some point it didn't tag, then it come down and it stopped me out. At that time, pretty much plus I think 90 or something like that. I was in green basically at that time. But anyway, this trade that I mentioned earlier on NQ actually was the one that pretty much got me back into drawdown. So anyway, yeah, letting it be for now. I'm gonna wait to see if I can get something in the with the FOMC minutes, which is basically in an hour, and let's see what happens then. If not, I'm probably just gonna be call it a red day. But yeah, one thing I wanted to mention is that I'm feeling somewhat uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable with my trading lately. Not because I don't know what I need to do. It's just because like I have a I'm struggling to pull myself together for some reason. For example, this current week, well, I'm with my child, and basically I have her like 1 week at a time, and it's not like it's her fault. It's actually mine. I need to figure it out how to tackle the week that I have to try, and my kid is here because I feel like I'm nowhere. Like I'm not fully with her sometimes, and I'm not fully in my charts, and it's really dangerous because it makes me be or feel like I am somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So I need to do some work with that because I don't feel good about it. Yeah, sometimes I take really good trades. I know what I'm finding, but sometimes I also chase. I also take some trades that make some sense and so on, especially late in the session. So this is basically the things that I mean, like why I want to trade mostly first hour and a half or hour, or depends on price action if it's really fast. Well, because this after this is just not always, of course, not always gonna be like this, but in this case, it's just garbage. Basically, it's really trash. But yeah, but anyway, the point is, I need to do some self work and try to get it straight, how to manage my trading and my time with my child and everything, and then I think things will set in place. I also don't want to be hard on myself because this is not easy. This is really not easy, especially when you have to face all the emotions you have, all the things coming in, coming out, the drawdown, the profits and everything, and then trying to make it somewhere and all that. I mean, it's not easy. So yeah, it is sold as it is easy out there, but actually trading is really tough. But I think I'm getting good at it. I'm getting better day after day. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to improve to see what I do wrong and then how to get better from there. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. For now, I'm gonna remain out of the market for at least an hour. I'm gonna check later to see if there's some FOMC activity. If not, then tomorrow's gonna be a different day, and I'm gonna just sit and think and see what happens next. Okay, so I'm gonna get quickly to this because I want to go to sleep, and it's getting late here. Anyway, so well, I actually had a kind of decent long day after last time that I mentioned that well, I have taken some losses and everything. Prior to the news, basically, I was noticing that, well, here initially I wanted to see if gold was to trade a little higher with a lower volume to see if I could short, but it never did. So it just kept kind of trading a little lower and ranging. So I actually took a trade here to the downside. I was a little late in this break, but anyway, I think I took it was like a minus 90 or something like that, like loss. And to remain fully transparent with myself, I remember that actually I was like minus 490 or almost 500 basically. I drew down today here. But anyway, I kept going. Um, I actually traded prior and after the FOMC minutes. How? Well, basically, just as an overall picture, as a reminder, what I was watching here, same as gold and Nasdaq, was that as the price continued to make higher highs here, volume just kept drying and drying and drying, which is a sign of weakness to the upside. So same for Nasdaq actually here. I was noticing here after it pushed pretty strong after this opening here, then it just kept trading higher. Like I think it was just some inertia or something like that. But the volume was drying all the way. So I was noticing this and this and this and that. This is the last time that I engaged prior to the news. Oh, sorry, well, I engaged here, but point is, this was the last trade that I mentioned. And then, yeah, market kept ranging for a little while, and then it kept tanking here. Here, I noticed this, but I didn't engage at all. Where I started engaging on Nasdaq was basically, a second, at this point here. Why? Well, I noticed that it continued to fail. It was, like I said, higher highs with volume failure, and then also here it didn't take the high, and then it also like was basically pretty much shitty volume. So after that, I just kept going lower, lower, lower. And here, 20 minutes prior to the news, the market actually broke down. So what I did was, when the way I engaged was, I noticed this inside bar here. Well, when it was creating, it wasn't an inside bar, of course. But then I just shorted the retest here. I waited a little bit higher until it took this retest of this prior structure here, and I actually just sold here. Then what I did was, once again, I let me take this out. I just waited for the trade. It would kind of playing a little nicely here, and then it would come up. And then at that point, I was break even. So I didn't touch my trade like any deeper or something. I just remained here. And yeah, market failed again, took the previous bar high, and then just kept around. And then here, this inside bar, when it was created after the failure, especially the bar closing below these previous bars, I actually sold the low here when this next bar broke down. and I just let it be. And same again here, this bar traded higher. It took the previous bar high, but it wouldn't answer to the upside, so it failed again. So when this bar started failing, I actually sold again the low of this up bar before it broke this bar here and then this low here. And yeah, well, at some point I was still break even at this point, and the market actually tanked here. So point is, I'm gonna get back to this. This is the news bar here, this one. What I do is I wait for the fourth bar after the news. So for example, this one, two, three. This is the fourth bar, and I wait to see what it breaks. This was supposed to be a buy, but I didn't buy. Why? Because I was in a downtrend already, and I didn't want to close it because I think it was good because the market is already like failing here, and it's already turning to the downside. So there's no point. So what I did was I treated this as a failure. Initially, I didn't engage and I waited. So when it closed lower here, when this bar broke, that's actually when I shorted, especially because I said if it breaks this low, it's likely to break the fourth bar low as well. And that's exactly what it did. It shifted there. And then this bar tested this bar. I didn't short anything here because I just shorted at this level. So I just let the market tank here, and then this inside bar here came. At that point, when this inside bar was forming, I was locked in like 300 or something around this, the high of this bar here. And well, I noticed I created an inside bar, then it took the high. I didn't want to add to my trade here because I was locked in here. So I think it makes no sense. So I was thinking, yeah, just market either stops me out or maybe it rejects from here and trades lower. So when I noticed this rejection here in this bar, what I did was once this bar broke its low again, so I actually added one more contract here. I was saying I had kind of similar behavior to this. If this bar was to take the low of this bar, it's likely to take the low of the inside bar and this low as well. So it will probably just keep tanking. So that's exactly what happened. I kept my trade open. At this point, I was a little bit like getting emotional because at this point I was like plus 800, 900 or something in profit. But yeah, but still, like I at some point, what I did was when the market traded lower here at this point, before it tagged me out, what I did was I locked in some profit. I think I was somewhat above break even for the day or something because I was thinking, first of all, if I am in the right side of the market, which seems I am, market should not trade higher. It should actually continue tanking. And yeah, well, I accepted that risk, and yeah, my exit actually was this. I decided to take this out of this structure here that was confirmed today after the push. So yeah, I think that was a pretty logic exit point for me. So I didn't want to aim any further because also it's late in the session, so it makes no sense to have like this loss or something. Initially, I thought about like maybe market want to go here or there, or maybe they open here, but then I was like, nah, that's more than enough. And since I also grew my position quite a lot, so I think that was actually a great trade overall. So yeah, I think besides being a long day, I took actually many trades, and it was a little actually crazy. I think it was well, a good day after all, not because of the profit, but because I overcame fear, I overcame drawdown, and I kept trying to do my best to, well, did what I did, and actually this trade, I think it was pretty much my best trade overall, which was like 1,000 plus or something. So I think it was good actually. So just for the sake of clarity, actually I also know that here, look at this, and actually I wanted to mention something about this. This is the reason why this happens as well is because I normally execute at one lot at a time. So for example, even if I consider that the same trade is, I will just go maybe like two lots or whatever, then I still execute for some reason one. So that's why normally the amount of trade looks higher. So for example, like this really does not reflect the total amount, even though I know that I am over trading in some cases. It's not like I'm not. So I'm not trying to excuse myself. I'm just trying to say that to clarify that the real amount of trade is not this. For example, like here, of course, like you can say that there are different executions, but for example, all these to me, to my understanding, these belong to the same trade because this is the premise that I'm actually executing on. So yeah, execution may be different, but the trade idea, the main trade is one in my opinion, or it's for me. So like I care. But anyway, other than that, I think well, I'm back to my account all-time high. So I think it's a great thing. I'm gonna, like I said, continue to do my best and try to avoid to print days like this and keep them as small as I can, and well, just keep going with the bright side of the market. But yeah, as for today, I'm done. The market is closed. I'm just gonna finish my work and basically soon head to sleep. That's pretty much it. Let's see how is tomorrow. It's gonna be a new day, a different day, and let's see also how is the rest of the week.